is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
On the Dot is presented by Benjamina Mia Casino. Licensed real estate professional since 2008. License number S01669991 LLC. It's a lunch hour in Vegas, and we're on the dot with Dot and Mia here on PHLV Radio.
Hi everybody, welcome to On the Dot. It is the last week of June. My name is Dorothy Tom, and we welcome you to this final episode for Father's Month, or Men's Month, they say. Okay, and my partner with me is, hello Mia.
Hi everyone, welcome to On the Dot. My name is Mia Martin.
Mia, nako, halfway through the year na tayo.
I know, grabe no, matatapos na 2024. Ang bilis.
Oo nga. June 26 is my father's birthday. Hello, tatay. He's dead,
Happy
of course.
birthday in heaven.
Pero, I was crying last night because I remembered him and I realized how varied, how diverse his life was. Grabe pala siya. So, I started crying. And I missed
Life well lived yun. Life.
Oh, grabe. Full. And so just to connect Tatay with our guest for today, Tatay was really a great fan of education.
Oh.
He continued learning and studying even, up to his death. So that's our connection with our guest for today.
Yes.
Sige nga, Mia, introduce natin.
It's also connected to our past guest, which we talked about Waldorf School.
Si Kate.
Siya talaga. Diba si Kate? Yes. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Our guest is very special. She's a good friend of mine, and I'm so proud of her because she's a Filipino principal. So, our guest is from Cebu, that's in the Philippines, graduated from Cebu Normal University, married to another friend, Hindi, with 3 children, a nurse, a senior editor, and a high school junior. Another description of our friend is pwede ring maganda, sexy, mabait, matalino, at iba pa, Dr. Jane Fernandez. Welcome to the
Hello, good noon, everybody. And I just would like to add a connection to that, what Dot had mentioned, because June 26th is my mom's birthday.
Ay,
So while you're talking about your dad, that makes me reminisce the moments with my mom. She already passed. We lost her. I was 25 at that time. So there's the connection.
Grabe, we're so connected.
Connected lahat. June 26 also.
June
Yes.
26. Oh,
Birthday.
okay. Happy birthday sa ating mga parents.
Yes.
They're having a birthday party.
You must be proud of us, no?
Yes.
Mm.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Also, happy birthday to my good friend Marie Spindler. But she's not a Spindler anymore. Marie, thank you for your friendship. She's one of those who welcomed me in Las Vegas.
Happy birthday.
Yes, and to all our other listeners and viewers who are watching, happy birthday sa inyo. Okay, ang title of our show, our episode for today is No plain Jane.
Yes,
Oh,
because hindi siya talaga plain Jane.
hindi talaga plain. As in, wala ding plain housewife.
Wala.
The plain housewife does not exist. So, Miss Jane, kung hindi ikaw plain, are you what? Are you, hindi naman corrugated,
Fantabulous.
hindi naman complex, varied,
Special
diverse.
ka. Hindi siya plain. Special flavor siya.
Multi-talented, multitasker. Tell us about your life as a principal in an American school, Miss Jane. Doc Jane.
Okay. In addition to not plain, probably we can say unique. Okay, each one of us is unique.
I love
But
it.
anyway, I started my journey as actually a teacher way back in the Philippines at an international school. And then I heard about an opportunity to teach at the reservation. You know, at international schools, I had students from different countries, different cultures, but I never had any student who's a Native American. And so when that opportunity knocked, and I was just so interested because I have read about them on the books, on textbooks. And I was so curious on how will it be to live in the reservation. So that's why I came to America. So I started teaching at the Navajo Reservation in New Mexico. And I love the place. I love it so much that I stayed for 10 years.
Ay,
And
grabe.
fortunately, if you're not Native American, you cannot even purchase a house. And of course, as a family woman, I would love to provide shelter for my family. And so we went around about 40 states in the US to see where we're going to move. And
40.
40. And Vegas won. And you know why? Because of Jollibee. That was the first one. I know we looked at crime rate, education. We look at the economy. It was so cheap then, way back many years ago here in Vegas. You know, but then the one that won, I had my top three. One is Vegas, second is Boise, Idaho, and then the third one is in Florida. But what made Vegas one really? It's Jollibee. I mean, my kids love Jollibee. We are Filipinos, not just by heart, but also with our palate. Okay, then I moved to Vegas. I started teaching here at CCSD. It's the only school district that we had. And then 2 years later, I got promoted as grade level chair. And then after 1 year of being grade level chair, I got promoted as learning strategist. And then I think about 3 years, then I became an assistant principal. So I worked as an assistant principal for 5 years. My first school is George Harris Elementary School. And we moved up that school. And then I went to Park Elementary and now as principal here at Goldfarb Elementary School.
Grabe, no? 10 na lang, nabuo na niya yung buong 50 states.
I know. I was going to ask, how could you have accomplished so much when you're only 20 years old?
I
You
know,
know?
right?
Wow.
Oh, well, I'm still 20.
Like you started teaching at the age of 10? Wow.
19, actually.
Oh, 19.
I started teaching 19 years old, yeah.
Where did you teach in the Philippines?
I started in Manila. It's Woodridge. And then I went back to Cebu. And my last school is Cebu International School.
The I. Oh, bitaw.
I
Lagi.
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 You know what Jane said about Jollibee? I visited my daughter in Florida and I fell in love with Miami. So I asked her, may Jollibee ba dito? Sabi niya, wala, mama. Okay, I'm not moving here. Sabi ko,
Sabihin mo kay Bella to open a franchise.
in New York, there is.
Sa Miami, mag-open din siya.
Si Asia yan. Si
Si
Asia.
Asia pala. Okay. I've toyed with the idea of opening a Jollibee, mag-franchise ng Jollibee here in the Northwest kasi wala.
Mm-mm.
So I don't know how much that would take, like $3 million, I think. Last time I looked, it was like $2 million. Pero,
You
Di
know,
ba may Seafood City doon dyan sa Northwest?
meron
um,
meron
yeah.
sa North. Oo. You know, before Jollibee ever came here, kasi that was my first job in management training sa Jollibee. I wanted to open a Jollibee here in Vegas. Tapos I called corporate sa Manila. Wala daw silang plan. Kasi nag-open sayang, milyonaryo.
Ako din. Pwede pa may chance pa tayo. May
Right.
chance pa. Kasi we don't have to be like plain Mia or plain Dot or plain Jane. We can be as unique and as far-reaching and multi-talented as our guest, si Jane. Pero I'm so impressed with your work at the reservation in New Mexico.
Yes.
Grabe. So what made you leave that place after 10 years?
Yun lang talaga yung gusto ko magkabahay.
Bahay.
So, yes, and if you're not Native American, you cannot buy a house from there.
Yes.
And there's actually just 30 minutes away from the reservation, there's a city that we could buy, but it's not the place that I really would like to I don't want to live there. I'd rather live at the reservation. So it was just a choice between the reservation and another state. Yeah. And
We have a
Vegas.
beautiful house
Yeah.
now, and they got it at the best time.
Yes, the best time. We bought it even before moving here. So when we moved over here, we just stayed at a house. We rented a house for a month until closing. So it was very quick because kasi yung short sale.
During short sale era, they have a beautiful corner home.
Ang galing.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's good. I'm happy for you, Doc Jane. So, Kuya Yo said earlier that you were a guest here sa PHLV sa Magandang Morning America with Kuya Yo and Kuya Rex, no? Kuya Rex, kababayan mo. Uh, so you were talking about children during the pandemic and how the students were adjusting to the online learning and all that. How are they now? What's the status now?
I'll do two sides, plus and a delta. The plus side, like when you look at data of their academic success, there's a trend movement going upwards. So, like my school, we have shown significant growth through we call it MAP testing, measured of academic progress, and when I compared my school with all the other schools in CCSD, so we are going up. But when I look at some other neighboring schools, they are also moving up. So that means our students have adjusted back to face-to-face classes. The delta is because of those 2 years that the students were stuck in their room, in their house, without somebody teaching them. Like, kahit sa Pilipinas, di ba, meron tayong good manners and right conduct. Di ba? Ngayon, with the 2 years na walang nagtuturo sa kanila, except for some parents, of course, they are teaching. Pero iba kasi pag nasa, you're socializing with your classmates and you're taught by your teachers. Nung bumalik sila, misbehaviors was on the rise. We really have a huge problem with students name calling African monkey, Kung Fu Panda, or even kids will say, go back to Hawaii. And I had one student who was told, go back to Hawaii. And then my other student just said, but Hawaii is in America.
I know.
They do not know that these words are not appropriate, and it's not nice to call people, or they're even calling your mom is negative words That's our main problem. Um, so behavior is also on the rise. Misbehavior, even minor behavior incidents are on the rise. So it's a big challenge for us teachers because if you cannot manage your class, there's actually no learning at all. You are teaching, yeah, but that doesn't mean that your students are learning. You might be teaching to a wall. So the second problem because of that misbehavior is the rise of our technology. Kasi ang mga bata natin, nakaano na lang, 'di ba? You are competing against very interactive games. So yung teacher, pag ano ka lang, you're just talking and talking, you're actually not teaching. You need to be very interactive. You need to have very engaging activities for students. So they're not just listening or sitting down. They have to do something. Learning by doing. Kasi ang kompetensya mo, very interactive. Diba? Yung brain ng mga bata, siguro pumapasok sila, ang nasa isip nila, yung games nila.
That's true.
Diba? Kaya nga yung achievement level ng mga bata ngayon mababa. Dahil teaching nowadays is so different from the traditional way of teaching. Doon tayo, yung mga students tayo, nagsasalita ang teacher, it is our responsibility to learn. We are held accountable. Ngayon, iba na. Kasi how do you know that your students are learning if they're just sitting down over there? There is no evidence of learning at all if they're not talking, if they're not moving, if they're not creating. So pag nakaupo lang sila, wala ka talagang valid evidence. Noon alam natin, lalo na sa atin sa Pilipinas, where education is our top priority, right? Importante sa atin 'yun sa Pilipinas. So, pag nagsasalita yung teacher mo, you have to be note-taking, ganun, ang amba-ambahin. And when we get in trouble at school, the more trouble that we get when we go home. Ngayon, iba na. We get trouble at school, the parents will come and then get mad at the school.
At the school?
Yeah.
So how do you deal with those parents?
We usually, when we send home students, we do have conferences with parents.
Yes.
So it is also a matter of also educating the parents on our protocol, on our process. Kasi we will have parents, especially nowadays, pag sinususpend mo yung bata, tapos hindi the kid gonna come back to school na until the parent will have a conference with administrator. And then pagdating nila dito, pag nag-usap, just because the kid hit somebody, and then the parent will tell you, oh, I told my kid to hit back.
Oh my goodness.
Or I told my kid to hit. That is very common now. Mm-hmm. So we do tell them, we need to be partners. Mm-hmm. We need to collaborate with each other to teach our kids the right things. So mostly parents will understand and will help, will collaborate with us. But there are some times that it's also hard to reach out to some parents.
Yeah. So is there, in your observations though, although this might not be valid ang question ko, and probably your observations, kasi there's a time difference, no? When you were teaching in the Philippines, then when you were teaching in the reservation, and now here, sa big city, the difference or commonality, common traits of students or teachers or, the context of the educational system, meron bang common thread? Common na lang tayo.
Sige,
they're both merong common, meron ding differences.
Mm-hmm.
Yung common, of course, na students are there to learn. I think that's the most common. Na way back in the Philippines, sa international school, of course, they come in order to learn. Pero the systems are different. It's so different. That was the paradigm shift that I had. Di ba sa international school ako, students are there because their parents can afford to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for their tuition fees. Mm-hmm. In fact, those students are followed around by nurses, not nannies, mga nurses. Tapos pag pumapasok sila, isang car sila, may car sa front, na bodyguard, may car sa back, na another bodyguard. Ganun ang mga students. So, you teach, but then they also get extra instruction when they reach a home kasi may mga tutors din sila. So, ang teaching is easy. But plus also, the staff are well trained on how to teach. So it's really a highly rigorous instruction. But when I moved to the reservation, that's where I saw the disparity. I mean, and I felt so bad for my students. Like, I don't really see highly rigorous instruction at all, because some of your kids or some of the families that we serve, they're already in survival mode. They need to think of where do they get their food, where, or do they have electricity at home. So when they go to school, the kids are not ready because they're hungry or marami pang problema. Maraming basic needs na kailangan. So I saw that disparity. That was my paradigm shift na I told myself, Jane, this is your mission. So I changed. I'm going to move from one at-risk, high-needs school, from one to another. So I continued that here in Vegas. So I moved from one Title I, free and reduced, 100% free and reduced lunch at school, from one to another. So to serve this kind of the population that I believe deserve highly rigorous instruction. So
You know,
And so, yeah, go ahead, Mia.
kasi when my kids were younger, I would help them with schoolwork. And so I noticed it's more lax here in the US because I was looking at their tests. It's almost just um, multiple choices. And I was looking at their penmanship. Sabi ko, wala ba kayong writing class? They would say no. And then I would tell them about the writing class. And I would tell them, our tests in the Philippines are right minus wrong. And then my daughter said, what? That's not fair. But diba, it's that rigorous in the Philippines. Diba?
there's no more cursive writing.
I know.
Wala na, hindi na tinuturo yung cursive writing.
Talaga?
Wala ko talaga. Pero di ba, their penmanship is not that nice. Yung mga...
I know, I get the points. I know, 50-50 ako dyan. I get the point kasi, we're now typing.
That's
So,
true. Oo nga naman.
yeah, para siyang obsolete na konti. Pero, when you sign papers, di ba?
Yeah, and the way they hold the pencil, yung isang anak ko ganito rin, no? Sabi ko, why do you hold the pen like that? Because nobody taught them. So I was teaching her, we correct the way kasi mga ngawit ka or
Fascinating, no? Ang mga changes, including mga physical changes, no? Sa mga bata. Well, there's this latest big news or big, they would say, ano ba ito? Parang scandal. Hindi naman scandal, pero nakakatakot na balita is that Filipino students, according to this PISA program for International Student Assessment, placed the Philippines in the bottom 4 among 64 countries in terms of creative thinking assessment. Very, very low ang Pilipinas. I think Kate mentioned that last week, no? The lowest, or one of the lowest sa Pilipinas in terms of creative thinking. So, would you say na ano ang creative thinking skills ng mga bata dito sa Las Vegas? Because you have it's sort of an international school as well, di ba? We have diverse community sa Las Vegas schools. Tama ba yan?
Yeah, but it's about the same. Kulang talaga ng creative thinking ang mga bata. At ito ang nakita ko, kasi ito din ang change ng education ngayon. Ito din ang pina-fight ko talaga with my teachers. Providing opportunities, isa yan sa expectation ko dito for Tier 1 instruction. Provide students opportunities for higher DOK thinking skills. That means students will be provided opportunities to analyze, synthesize, innovate, create, or those higher DOK, evaluate. Ang nangyayari, sa pagtuturo, syempre nag-start ng mga recalling mga level 1 lang na mga task. Tapos na-stuck na sila doon sa level 1. Kaya nakalimutan na yung higher DOK na we need to move forward. Tapos yung mga bata, they're used to, in this generation, I would say, number 1, even you did not win, you get a trophy.
Yeah. Kahit
So, parang we're enabling kids. Di ba? No, if you don't win, then you get nothing.
no medal, no trophy.
Then number 2, pag hindi mo alam, okay, if you need this, okay, here it is. Like, sa school, free lahat ng mga materials mo, pencils, papers, notebooks, free lahat. So, again, it's enabling the students. So even in teaching, sometimes teachers forget that productive struggle is a skill. It's a skill. You don't just, kapag hindi nila alam, you don't just give them. You don't give them. Have them think, have them figure out. Yan ang kulang natin.
Kaya tawag ko dyan, Doc Jane, is not even enabling, it's disabling. Kasi parang you're disabling children or human beings from engaging in their higher cognitive skills, di ba? So,
I'm going to copy that, Dot. I think I'm going to change my word. It's disabling. Yes. You're actually right.
Di ba? It's more accurate, no? Kasi in a way, I think the sentence is you enable them to be more entitled. But if we're going to use just the shortcut, we're literally disabling them. They can't move anymore. They can't speak properly. They don't behave wonderfully. So parang, in a way, it's, yeah. Diba?
That is so sad. But we also need to figure out on how to turn this around.
Yeah. Yes.
We can't do it by ourselves. The schools cannot do it by ourselves. We need the parents.
Dr. Jane,
first and foremost, the parents are the first teachers.
Yeah. Dr. Jane, so diba ang Nevada is nasa lowest ranking sa states? How can we address that?
For me, I believe this has to come from legislation. Kasi the schools are doing what we can do, pero number sa society natin, diba, is family. Family. Ngayon, sa generation natin, there are only very few. I can't say, I don't have the statistics though, but we can see the data here at school. Number 1 problem is chronic absenteeism. That's number 1 problem here in Nevada, especially here in Las Vegas, because we know that not all parents value education anymore. So they don't send their kids to school. If they're not here, they're not learning. And that's one of the many reasons baba yung achievement status natin dito sa Las Vegas. Students are not here.
Right. And di ba pagka 10 absences, you can be expelled or?
No, actually no. 10 absences without communication with the school, pwede ka ma-withdraw.
Right.
But 18 absences in RS law, that's our law, 18 absences and above, we can we can submit with CPS, it's a truancy law, that we can do report for educational neglect. Pero, ang dami kasi ding natanggap ng CPS na mga cases. So, I don't think they can call all those parents.
Right.
Like, the whole school district's chronic absenteeism is 30%.
Grabe. Wow, that's huge. 30%.
That's one third of your school population, of your whole district population. And when I started here at my school, ours was 31.4%. Imagine just this school year, I had over 100 meetings with parents. Well, I created, but that was being reactive though. for my year one, it was being reactive. So we created an attendance matrix. 5 absences will have a required parent conference with the AP, and then when they reach 10, required parent conference with me, and then I have them sign an attendance contract. And that's over 100 conferences I had with parents this year.
Wow,
And
grabe.
it just moved down from 31.4 to 29.7. It's just a 4.5 decrease.
Salamat naman.
Pero at least may decrease. Yeah.
Ay, may growth ka. Oh.
My God. Yeah.
Oh.
That
Alam mo ba?
includes home visits pa, ha? May home visits pa.
Alam mo ba kung anong card mo?
Oh.
Tingnan natin mamaya. We'll take a short break for
Okay.
our major sponsor, and then we'll talk about your card. Sige. Let's take a break. Please stay with us.
Is presented by Benjamina Mia Casino. Licensed real estate professional since 2008. License number S01669991 LLC.
Just like a friend from back home. This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
Hey, we're back at On the Dot, and we're talking No Plain Jane with Dr. Jane Fernandez. But before we move on, ito muna si Mia, ang ating presidente ng UP Alumni Association of Nevada, which is also supporting this show. Mia, talk about Himig, while Kuya Yo is preparing the card that Dr. Jane picked.
Yes, we'd like to invite everyone to watch Himig. The tickets are out already. It's $30, which includes refreshments. We have a songwriting competition. It's our second songwriting competition called Himig. Husay Ipagmalaki, Musika'y Ipagdiwang Gawang Pinoy. It's on November 16 at the Celebrity Center in Las Vegas. But I'm also calling all songwriters. If you have any unpublished compositions, send it over to be one of the contestants. The prize is $1,000 for the winning songwriter, and you can send it to my email at miamcasino@gmail.com or through PHLV. That is also in cooperation with PHLV Radio and Las Vegas-based
Mm-hmm. Did you say it's open to Pinoys lamang, Mia?
Filipino Americans, yes.
I was wondering kung pwede sa school ni Doc Jane.
Ay, binigyan ko na siya ng poster.
May Filipino Americans ba dyan? Madami ba, Doc Jane?
Yes, yeah.
Ah, okay.
I do.
Very
I
good.
have a lot in my stuff, actually.
O sige, baka eligible sila to join the contest. Kasi songwriting yan, that's creativity.
Yeah, for a promoted songwriting company.
Oh, baka pwede. Sige, sige. So, we were talking earlier na from 31%, naging 29% na lang ang absenteeism sa school ni Doc Jane, di ba? What's the name of your school again?
Goldfarb Elementary.
Goldfarb. So, I would look at that as growth. And the card that you pick is this one. It's growth. Kuya yun, nandyan na ba?
Wow.
Ayan. And you mentioned that earlier. You used the word growth kanina. So, can you read that? Are you able to read that?
No, I can't.
Okay. It says, okay, Mia, can you read?
Growth is I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness.
How do you relate to your card, Doc Jane?
Okay. Let's say my boss usually tells me, Jane, whatever you need at your school, you needed it yesterday. that's he says, I'm always on the go because I just want to move the school up. Now, this is also very personal to me because this is where my kids went. So this is my neighborhood school. And this used to be 3 to 4 star schools. And so when I came in, I inherited it as 1 star.
Wow.
So it went down before I came. So I thought I was inheriting the 3 star because it used to be. And then when I looked at the data on my day 1, and I was, what? Okay, it's now a 1 star school. So I'm like, we have to move up. And I know in my year 1, I have inspired and empowered staff. They know what's my vision, and they are with me with that vision. So I have great staff, very great staff, and they're also willing to do the work on what's necessary and not just what's required in order for us to move up. So I know it's not just in chronic absenteeism that we have proven growth. In our math testing, that's the academic side. Before I came, their median growth is 42, and now we're at 54. So I know we're moving up.
Expansion nga.
Growth.
ng consciousness and awareness. And I'm very proud that you're a Filipino leading this American school, Doc Jane, kasi it speaks well. I am for excellence and honor and service. Di ba yan motto natin sa UP? The motto ng UP is honor, excellence, and service. But I think every Filipino leader is exhibiting all those qualities, no? Mia, no?
And what I see with Dr. Jane, she is conscious of what the school needs.
Yeah.
So that's what's what's making the school grow, because she is conscious of what the school needs and what it needs to prosper.
Galing. We're so proud of you.
Lahat measurable.
Yeah. So, anong quality mo as a Pinoy naman,
Ayaw.
Doc Jane? You're being a Filipino and being a leader among other nationalities or, say, races, for example, is standing up for you.
I think number 1 is how I build relationship. You know how hospitable we are and how generous and caring we are with others. And I think as a leader, because you do not just take care of business, but you also take care of the hearts.
I love that.
So, kasi yung my own mission, it's both personal and professional. Yeah. Love that.
Meron tayong heart. Takes care of the heart. Okay.
Yeah. So you inspire and empower, but that you cannot inspire and empower by just giving them expectations. You have to start with building nurturing relationships, positive relationships. So that's number 1. And then number 2, you also have to be strategic, in working. I believe in working smart than working hard. So I created systems at our school where teachers will not be overwhelmed with too much paperwork. Alam ko kung saan ang pinaka-importante. It's what you do inside the classroom. So I try to take out from their plates yung mga paperwork na, for me, I believe they're just unnecessary. So say for example, lesson plan. Karamihan, kailangan merong objectives, merong mga ano, very specific. Ang haba ng lesson plan, tapos on paper, it is very beautiful, it's excellent, but then, in terms of delivery, nakalimutan mo na yung lesson plan mo. Yung delivery ang mas importante. So I'd rather have them spend more time with preparing the materials, the resources, and ano yung mga strategies nila kaysa sulat ng lesson plan.
Yeah.
So it's being
I'm
strategic.
curious. I'm curious, Jane, kasi you mentioned that's your zone school, di ba? How are the kids, your kids, di ba? Their mom being a principal, do they get special treatment or do they get teased?
No, they're not here. Wala, high school na. They were here when I wasn't here. Yeah. But Mia,
Nag-grow na sila.
Gwen and Zoe, they were my own students in 3rd grade.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And they can't call me mom. They were not allowed to call me mom in the classroom.
Mrs. Fernandez.
Yeah.
That's why their classmates would say, "Why are you calling her Dr. Fernandez? Why not mom?" And then my daughter would say, "Oh, but she's not mom here at school. She's a teacher."
Yeah. Same thing with my children, Mia. When I was their teacher sa Montessori, Miss Dot. All 4 of them were under me at some point. They were in my classroom, so si Miss Dot.
Ako pag tinawag ako, Mrs. Casino. Yes, Miss Casino.
Yeah. Kasi nga teacher. Pero thank you for pointing that out, no? Being hospitable and being strategic. As a Pinoy, talaga namang mas strategic tayo. Anong tawag doon? There was a word for that na as a Pinoy na very resourceful.
Yes. Magaling tayo dyan.
Magaling tayo dyan.
Ito ang long cut. Hanap tayo ng shortcut, ha?
sabi ng aming the cook at school sa Montessori, she said, "Disponering is that. You disponer, ang tawag dyan?
Spanish?
Yeah, like you make do with what you have. Halimbawa, wala kang glue, edi lagyan mo ng kanin. Alam mo yon, we used to do that. yung ano. Pero Doc Jane, may I add sa SMART goals mo? Kasi nga, eto na tayo, strategic Pinoy na tayo. Di ba yung SMART, ano yun? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Gawin mo daw smarter para may growth ka. Smarter. Ano yung E at saka yung R?
Okay. I'm going to write that down.
Yes.
Ano ang E at R?
Yung E, make it exciting.
Oh.
Para yung goals may sense of excitement daw. So, eto na, lagyan mo na ng creativity mo, creative powers mo to make the goals exciting naman para enthusiastic yung mga teachers. Ano yung R? Rewarding. At the end of the goals, pag na-achieve na nila, then they feel like it's very rewarding, fulfilling. So meron silang, maybe you can give them, let's say, okay, for achieving this goal, you can treat yourself to ice cream. Yung mga ganyan, yung little things to make it fun. Yan. Ayan ang aking contribution sa goals.
Yes, I super love it. I'm going to copy.
Smarter. Diba? Ahin mo daw yung goals kung boring naman at saka nakakatakot o kaya, it's just so rigid. So, gawin natin fun and exciting.
Yeah.
Okay na ba? Pasar ba, ma'am? That's my project.
100%.
Yan ang aking. I submit my project. Smarter pala. Pasar ba, Mia?
Pasado.
Miss President. Okay, thank you. I'll give you a smile for that. Ayan, smile. Okay, this has been a very, rewarding ang ating conversation ngayon. What would your message be, Doc Jane, sa mga fellow teachers who are on their way, they dream of being in the leadership sa schools? Anong tips for them?
Keep on going. I know the road to becoming an admin here at CCSD is very hard, very difficult. Nag-graduate ka na ng master's or doctorate in educational administration or or educational management. Pagpunta mo ng CCSD, you have to go through a very hard process. Kailangan mo pang maging punta ng pool. Just to become an assistant principal, you have to go through a pool. To be at the pool, you have to apply, you have to be interviewed, you have to take the written test, and you have to take like 6 months of studies with the district. And then, you pass all of these, mapunta ka sa pool. That doesn't mean na assistant principal ka na agad. You still have to apply and go through a lot of interviews. Because pag AP, dalawa ang mag-interview sa iyo before you get appointed. So, yung principal tsaka, or team ng principal, tapos yung associate superintendent. Sa ano lang yan, sa AP. And I know some Filipinos, I just had one guest this morning, another Filipino who got appointed to be assistant principal. It took a long process for him to get into. Yung iba, nagsasabi na, I'm done. It's too much. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I would say, if you're at that time na ganyan ka, I would like to tell you, keep on going. Keep on going. And I know, sometimes masakit, iiyak ka, but hindi pa ako napasok. But keep on going, because that will pay. I mean, the best is yet to come. It is very hard. And for those who are already APs too, marami na akong kilalang AP na, no, I don't want to be principal anymore. I don't want to go through the process. Kasi yung process to become principal, mas grabe pa kaysa sa AP. Just for one school, you also do the things yung parang punta ka rin ng pool na you have to apply, you have to take written test, you have to be interviewed, you have to take some classes. Pero pag nasa pool ka na, marami pa ding steps. Mag-apply ka ng isang school, in-interview ka ng school associate superintendent. If you pass, then you will be interviewed by the school organizational team. If you pass, then you become the top 3. You'll be interviewed by the superintendent.
Ibang klaseng pool yan, no? Hindi siya swimming.
Oh, grabe ang process ng CCSD. Kasi sa ibang district, if you already have the educational requirements, you finish your masters, you have your administration supervision, then you can apply at schools. It's different here at CCSD. Grabe ang process nila.
Amazing.
Ang daming sabi na, ayaw ko na.
Okay.
I'm done.
Kaya salute to all the teachers who are here. Mia, di ba? Si Jane, siya ang ating UPAAN member as well. And all the other Filipino exchange teachers, special ed, that we are supporting din.
I love teachers.
Oo. So amazing. Salamat po, teachers. We salute you. And so, it's time for our quote, Mia.
Yes, our quote is interconnected to the smarter also. Said, it's complex unknown. And the quote is, teachers who love teaching children love.
Ay, nawala ka because there was an interference. Again. One more time.
Again. Teachers who love teaching teach children to love.
Teach children to love. Kasi sumusulat si Doc Jane pala. Her pen is
Maganda ba script?
Teach children to
teachers who love teaching teach children to love learning.
Okay, I love it.
Sino ang quoter? Unknown. Ang quoter. Unknown nga pala.
Isn't it beautiful?
Oo. Tama. Going for the unknown. Tama. As above, so below. Yung mga teachers who love teaching, they also teach children to love learning. Oh, that is part of the growth cycle. Ano yan? Exponential ang effect ng teachers. See if one teacher, one enthusiastic teacher can affect all her students. Ilang students ba per classroom, Doc Jane? 30?
No. My K to second, they have like 16 to 22.
16 to
And
22.
then my third to fifth is about 25. It depends on the budgeting of the principal, because actually in the state of Nevada, fourth and fifth can have as much as 30, 36.
Okay.
I bought extra teachers to have less number of students in the classroom.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that quote? Ano ang takeaway mo sa quote ni Mia?
This is very true. This is very true. Ang laki ng impact ng teacher in a classroom. Actually, the most important resource in the classroom is the adult in there.
The adult?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the adult.
That means the teacher.
So here's just a rhetorical question. You may answer or you may not, or maybe you can answer privately. But when teachers burn out, when they experience burnout, do they practice self-care? Yan. So, ikaw din, do you practice self-care? So, you may or may not answer that because we still have 4 minutes. So, what's your choice?
I do. I practice self-care. I go out. I partied with Mia.
Kaya pala. Oh, di magandang self-care. The best self-care available in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, here's at my school, I changed one classroom into a Zen room.
Yes, I saw
my
that. I was
Yeah.
gonna say that. I saw that post, and yeah, it struck me, and that's how I saw how passionate Jane is.
I know my staff need it.
And they're using it?
Yes, definitely. We have in that room we have yoga mats, we have snacks, we have TV, we have bike exercisers, we have puzzles or something that they can relax their mind or relax their body when they feel so overwhelmed. Because teaching is really difficult. It's difficult. It's not a job. It's more of ano ba yun, mission.
It's a
Parang
mission.
vocation. Parang vocation. It's difficult, when your job, when your work is service to humanity, and it involves the mind and the hearts of the human person, of the human, it's really hard. So,
Perfect. I love it. If only mga corporate offices would have a Zen room. Calling all hospitals. Yung mga nurses, Filipino nurses, request kayo ng Zen room para may self-care naman. Mga doctors, no? Sa hospitals, no? Yeah, meron ng prayer room sa ibang hospitals.
May meditation.
Ano yun, Mia?
May meditation room.
Yeah, meditation room. That's a good idea. Meditation room sa mga airports meron nga di ba?
Talaga?
Oh, sa ibang airports may mga
Alam ko lang
meditation
yung mga
rooms.
slot machine.
Sa Iloilo Airport, Iloilo International Airport, I think there's a prayer room there or
A prayer.
yeah, prayer room.
if you go to sa Egypt, yung mga may mga prayer rooms sila.
Sa St. Paul, di ba, may prayer room?
Saan?
Sa St. Paul, Pauline yan si Jane.
Yes. Sa mga hospitals, madami yan. Oo. Pero, I mean, this is literally for the givers, the caregivers, like the teachers, those who serve the constituents. Yun, kailangan yun. So, Doc Jane, we're about to close the episode. Is there anything that you would like to tell our listeners? And by the way, I have to look at the website, Facebook. Baka may mga greeters. Go ahead, Doc Jane.
Okay.
Your final words.
Just a message to all parents out there, especially our Filipino friends and families. I hope you will see the education is still very important. for us to move forward. If we want a better future, we need to educate our children. So sana hindi natin baliwalain yung education. I mean, send your send your kids to school.
Send your kids to school. Yeah. Tama yun. Ito pala yung the person that I was greeting earlier, si Marie, her family name is now Zupfer. Zupfer.
German?
Yeah, it sounds German. It sounds European. Marie, happy birthday again. At saka advance kay Camille, yung anak ni Bing Ortiz. Si Camille, birthday niya tomorrow. All right. Thank you, Doc Jane, for your presence today.
Thank you too.
Hope to see you around. Meet you in person. Thank you.
One of these days.
Yeah, to all our listeners, we see you around. And ewan ko anong mangyayari next week. But have a good life. Bye, Mia. Bye, Doc Jane.
Bye. Thank you, Jane.
Happy 4th of July, everyone. Or next week. Bye.
Bye.
Da, 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 da.
Is presented by Benjamina Mia Casino. Licensed real estate professional since 2008. License number S01669991 LLC.